As you can see, our brother Greg Boston is sitting up here beside me, which can only mean one thing. He's asked that we consider Matthew chapter 11, verses 25 through 30. As we read this, consider his topic, which is, Take My Yoke Upon You. There's either providence there or Casey saw the notes and picked that one out. You didn't see the notes? Just think about how God works in funny and mysterious ways. Brother David said during the hymn, I'd even ask Casey to play that one. All right, so Take My Yoke Upon You is the title of the exhortation. Matthew chapter 11, verses 25 through 30. At that time Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for it is so that it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your soul. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light.
Good morning, everyone. I need to start off by telling you that I don't have much of a voice. I've been coaching lacrosse and basketball all week, and I guess yelled too much. Casey, thank you for the hymn. Good. Very smart. Give her the credit, right? Becky, thank you for the hymn. So, my exhortation this morning, I knew I was going to be speaking in February, and starting to think about what my next exhortation would be, and I had something happen to me in my business life that is what spurred me to this. As some of you know, I sell packaging products, specifically mainly bags. And, like with any business, right, trust is one of the keys to success in a business relationship. As a salesman, if you can't be trusted, it's hard to keep customers. And I've been blessed in the 19 years I've been doing this. A lot of my customers, I've built relationships with. We're very close. Most of my time with them, we talk more about our families and things going on in our lives than we do business. And so I have this one particular customer in the southwest part of Virginia, and it's a furniture manufacturer. And they buy about 8 sizes of bags from me, an awful lot of bags. They make mattresses, they make furniture, sofas, and they use bags to put all the cushions and so forth in. And I've had this piece of business for quite a while. And a few years ago, they needed this special logo printed on the bag, and I had to find a new vendor. So I had to find a new manufacturer to partner with to make the bag for me, make their bags. So I did. So I had the business for a long time, and I get a call. These bags are on rolls. Sometimes the rolls have 150 bags, depending on the bag size. Some may have 500, some may have 200. And it's not a perfect science. The machines are running these bags so fast. A roll with 200 on there, one roll may have 201, one roll may have 198, another roll might have 200, 190. You know what I mean? Customers understand that. But I got a call from a good friend of mine, my customer, the owner, and he said, "We got an issue, Greg." I said, "What's going on?" He said, when we run mattresses, the king mattress and the queen mattress, those bags come 75 bags per roll. So our line supervisors know, hey, 75 mattresses, and then we got to go do a roll changeover. He said, but for the first 3 days of this week, we've only been able to run 72 mattresses on a roll. Every roll of bags is 3 bags short. We thought, this is odd. So we went and randomly counted one of the bags, one of the rolls. Queen supposed to have 75 bags on there, and sure enough, 72. I said, oh boy. I said, well, let me call my plant. So I called the plant and I said, hey, we've got an issue. And he said, let me look into it. General manager called me back. He said, oh, I know what it is. See, the box that we put the king bags in and the box that we put the queen rolls in, because of all the supply chain issues, we've had to be buying smaller boxes. And the roll diameter is too large with 75. If we take 3 bags off and put 72 in there, it fits better. I said, how long have you been doing that? He said, looks like about the past 9 months. He said, I'm sorry we didn't tell you. I said, well, yeah. I said, this is a problem. I said, you understand how this is perceived by the customer? He said, yeah, it looks like we're cheating them, doesn't it? And I said, yeah, it sure does. He said, well, Greg, I promise you, none of the other 6 bags are this way. I said, okay. So I hung up the phone, I called my customer, I explained it to him. I said, John, I said, I want you to go pick one of those other 6 bag sizes. I want you to count it. He said, no problem. I'll call you back. 30 minutes later, I get a call back. He said, Greg, he said, I counted one of the sofa. I had my guys count one of the sofa cushion bags. It's supposed to be 250 bags on a roll. Guess how many there were? 247? 247. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. So I drive down there, and I'm in their warehouse, and I said, all right, John. I said, we know what's going on with the king bags. We know what's going on with the queen bags. You counted one of the sofa cushion bags. Show me where the other 5 are stocked. So we walked over there. I said, I'm going to randomly pick one bag, one roll. So we picked a roll, and myself and the owner, supposed to be 150 bags. It takes us about 30 minutes to unroll, perf off, count. We get to the end, there's 147 bags. And he looked at me and he said, Greg, to say the least, I'm not happy. I said, I understand. And he said, thankfully, we have a good enough relationship that I know you didn't cheat me, but you need to find a new partner because your partner's cheating. And he said, I'm telling you what we're doing. He said, your partner, your manufacturer is going to give me a credit for 3 bags on every roll they've ever sold me. And he said, that's the only way we're going to end this. And so that's what we did. But it got me thinking about partnerships. It got me thinking about who we are partnered with in life. Because I was mortified. Because I knew that we had cheated a customer. Willingly cheated a customer. So I started thinking about this set of verses. And also, turn with me to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. This whole subject of being yoked. 2 Corinthians 6, verse 14, a verse that we all know well. 2 Corinthians 6:14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Very fitting for my situation. So, a yoke. I have never done any farming. I'm allergic to most animals, so I wouldn't make a good farmer. I'm allergic to hay as well. But this is a yoke. In biblical times, obviously, yokes were used quite often, okay? We all know that a yoke is used to yoke 2 animals together, right? To do a job. 2 oxen, right? We have 2 oxen pulling the plow instead of 1. It lightens the load. It helps for more work to be done because you have these two strong animals doing the work, right? And so you think about the yoke and you think about the animals, right? When that farmer early in the morning comes to the barn with the yoke in his hand, they're probably thinking, oh boy, not this again. Which one's he going to choose? Oh, I'm going to have to work all day long. Who am I going to have to work with? Which animal do I get to work with? And then the strong animals are thinking, oh, don't you partner me with that animal because he doesn't want to work. And so when we think about the verses in Matthew, Jesus says, take my yoke upon you. And so I look at this in two ways. I look at him actually talking about the yoke, right? His yoke upon you. And I think about it also of the two people that are in the yoke, or the two animals that are in the yoke. And I think of us, he's asking us not only to take on his yoke, but to be yoked with him. To go through this life being yoked with Jesus. And so the wonderful thing is we have this choice to make. We have this choice to make as to which yoke we want to take, right? The yoke kind of representing what's guiding us. What are we living by? What are our goals in life? What are the principles that are guiding us in our life? And so Jesus is saying, hey, listen, choose me. Choose God. Choose our gospel. Choose our goal for you in life, and your life will be easy. But a lot of times, we decide to choose different goals in life. So let's say you decided, I want to create a world-class consumer products business that people can just buy stuff by the click of a button, and it may be delivered to my front door today, or maybe tomorrow. You might try to find a good partner in that. Maybe you'd find this man, right? He knows a thing or two about that. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. He might be able to tell you if your goal in life, if what you're trying to achieve is creating the most wonderful consumer products organization that delivers products right to people's door, he might be a good one to partner with. Or what if you said, no. My goal in life, I don't want to do that. My goal in life, electric cars, that's where I want to be, right? So this guy, maybe I could partner with him. Maybe I could take on his yoke, and he could partner with me, and we could do something great. Elon Musk from Tesla. Maybe you say, that's not where I want to go. I want to go with financial products. I want to be the best investor ever, right? I want to know where to put my money and how to make it grow and grow and grow, and know when to buy and when to sell and what to buy and what to sell. And maybe I'll partner with Warren Buffett. So there's three of the richest men in the world. That was their yoke. That's what they wanted. That's what they achieved. Maybe you say, I'm an athlete. I'm a quarterback. I want to be the greatest quarterback that ever lived. That's what I want to do. That's who I want to partner with. That's who I want to learn from. Maybe you could, have this guy help you. Well, do you think any of these gentlemen would even give you the time of day? Do you think you could even figure out how to get them on the phone? Do you think they would return your phone call? Do you think they would say, sure, let me show you how to do this. Let's build it together. Do you think if you talk to them, any one of these four individuals would say what Jesus told us, Jesus said in Matthew 11:29, come to me, I am meek and lowly in heart. Probably not. Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that hopefully our goals, our life, our objection is not of this world, not of the things of this world. Turn with me to Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3. Starting at verse 1. You know, and God tells us these things over and over and over again of what we should do and what we shouldn't do, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And I know in my life, on a daily basis, sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm not. And it's frustrating for me, certainly. Galatians chapter 3, starting at verse 1, it says, "If ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. Set your affection on things above, not on things of the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil, that's a tough one, and covetousness, which is idolatry." Okay, so it's telling us, like, you know, these things of the world, these desires of the world, and those all guys could be great men, right? And they could be very wonderful people. But the desires of the world, the worldly things, it's not for us. Put our affections on things above, right? And also over Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Matthew chapter 6, starting at verse 19. Jesus says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Right? That's so true. What we desire, what we really want, that's where our mind is. That's where our heart is. That's what we're thinking about, right? That's where our thought process is. In my business, I'm an independent manufacturer's rep, and I represent about 15 different manufacturers. And all the manufacturers that I sell for, they want me to sell a bunch of their product. And I had one owner of one of the manufacturers I sell for, he said, "You know, Greg," he said, "the only thing I want is when you pull your car out of that driveway every morning, I want you to turn the car in the direction of wherever you can sell my product." I understand that point, right? He wants his line, his products to be what's on my mind all the time. Who can I go see? How can I sell his product? That makes sense. Well, Jesus is telling us, listen, put your mind on me. Put your focus on me. Allow me to guide you. Allow my yoke to guide your life. And so what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing that we have the greatest, most wonderful, most perfect, most powerful man ever to walk the face of this earth want to be with us, inviting us to take on his yoke. We showed pictures of these men who've done amazing things, but they don't compare, but no percentage to Jesus Christ and what Jesus Christ has done and has done for us and what Jesus Christ can provide us. So let's go back to Matthew chapter 11 and reread the verses starting at verse 28 that Brother Jason read and the beautiful words that we sang. Matthew 11:28. He says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So in the context here, he's not speaking necessarily of physical burdens. You know, right here he's talking about this burden that had been placed upon believers of the day by the Pharisees, right? You know, that this legalism and trying to be saved by works and following the law and everything that was burdening these believers, right? The yoke of the Pharisees, this burdensome yoke of self-righteousness and legalistic law-keeping, right? That's where they were. They were just burdened by it. And Jesus was like, no. Come to me. Take on my yoke. Take on the true yoke. Take on what the gospel message is. Not what these mortal men have made it to be, but take it what it is. And so we can also apply that burden, right? Burden, heavy laden. Everyone can raise your hand and say, there's burdens in our life. We're heavy laden by something or some things. These trials that are going on in our life, these things that burden us. Those mortal, worldly things that burden us. But not God and Jesus. We can't view God and Jesus and His Word and His gospel as burdensome, right? We can't be like this, burdened by this yoke that we have on us of God and Jesus. Because that's not what it is. Jesus says, for my yoke is easy. Some translations say useful. And my burden is light. That's not what He wanted of us. He's not inviting us to serve Him and give our life to Him, but to then be burdened by it. Oh, I've got to do this for the truth. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to go here. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not what He wants for us. If it is a burden to us, then we're going about it the wrong way. It's not God's message. It's not the gospel that's wrong. If it's a burden on us, it's us. And we have to change the way we view God's Word. 1 John 5, verse 3, reading from the NIV, says the exact thing. In fact, this is love for God, to keep His commandments, and His commands are not burdensome. So Jesus tells us to take on His yoke. And not only take on His yoke, but I feel to walk with Him. To be yoked with Him. Think about that. Think about being yoked with Jesus. If we have to do something, if we have to go about life and have a partner of something, who better than to have Jesus Christ right there beside us? Let's turn to the book of John. John 14. John 14, verse 6. Jesus saith to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto the Father but by me. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. Take on my yoke. Be yoked with me. And a couple chapters over, John 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken. Jesus saying again, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. There it is. Jesus is saying, listen, I know you can choose, and you're free to choose what you want to do, but choose me. Choose my yoke. And so we think about it in the simplest form, right? If we think about actually being physically yoked with Jesus in His yoke, is He going to lead us the wrong direction? Is He going to let us down? Is He going to take us in the wrong way? No. Jesus will keep our path straight. Jesus will help the load. Come to Him, ye that burden are and heavy laden. And so we also, through life, guys, right? We have people that we're yoked together, that we're yoked with. And I realize I'm maybe setting myself up for failure on this one, because Lori may be thinking, oh boy, yep, made the decision to be yoked with this man. And I can sympathize with that oxen that's just thinking, boy, this other oxen just doesn't want to work, it doesn't want to do anything, and I'm constantly dragging them along. But we have to choose these people to be yoked with, right? And hopefully we choose wisely. Again, back to my original story. I chose a partner that was a terrible partner to be yoked with in the end. And it made it look like I was cheating my customer. And so we've got to make sure that we're choosing to be yoked with the right people. But in that yoke, whoever we're yoked with, on a daily basis with our husband, our wife, our children, our parents, our business partners, our friends, whoever it is, we have to be strong. We have to lead others to God's kingdom. We have to be that strong person in the yoke to help lead people the right direction. And if we're not doing that, we're missing the point. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 16. Jesus, again, here says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Right? Be that strong one in that yoke with these people that you're with on a daily basis. And also over to 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. "Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do." Edify one another, uplift each other, strengthen each other. And so let us take comfort and be so appreciative of the invitation Jesus gives. He gives us, he says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light."